Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Stupendous Wave, and in this video, we'll be talking about Star Wars Episode 7, Finn. So, as basically everyone knows by now, Finn was a stormtrooper at one point in time, and this is probably one of the most interesting things that we know about the character thus far, is that at one point he was actually a stormtrooper, and that he does end up defecting to kind of the Resistance. We're not exactly sure yet where exactly he goes, but we do know that he meets up with Rey after he in fact leaves the First Order. So to start off, we don't really know anything about his origins, but like I said, we do know that he was a stormtrooper, and he possibly is not aware of the shady stuff that the First Order is doing, and is kind of unaware of anything, which kind of brings an aura of grayness to the Star Wars franchise now, because in the original trilogy it's very black and white. Stormtroopers are bad, and the rebels are good. So now to have a stormtrooper that really doesn't know the darkness that the First Order is shrouded in really makes you think back to the original trilogy and thinking how many of these stormtroopers were just unsuspecting victims of circumstance, basically being drafted into the Empire. And that's really interesting stuff. Now, there are a ton of people out there that are saying that Finn is actually drafted into a group led by Kylo, and that they go down to the planet of Jakku for a purpose that is not known at this point. They may be hunting for Luke, they could be hunting for Han and Chewie, and this is all interesting stuff. Or maybe even some Jedi that could be out there, and all of a sudden Kylo Ren just his methods of handling his business down on the planet are not as Finn would like them to be. Finn would much rather just go down there and enforce the rules peacefully and do what they want to do peacefully, and this causes conflict in between Kylo and Finn. Maybe Kylo Ren goes a bit crazy and Finn sees the results of what Kylo Ren is doing, which is really interesting. Again, a character seeing the first kind of shroud of the dark side in the First Order, and then as Finn goes back up top onto their spaceship, he really realizes what the First Order is doing and that what they're doing is wrong after seeing Kylo Ren and the destruction that he causes. And this is where I believe that he gets into a TIE fighter and exits the Star Destroyer and heads down back to the planet of Jakku. We do know that he ends up crashing there, so he's possibly pursued by another TIE fighter or several TIE fighters, and he does make it down to the planet safely because we do see him, but at the expense of the TIE fighter, obviously, because he probably wouldn't choose to stay there if he had a working TIE fighter where he could exit the planet on. So this is definitely where I think that he will come in contact with Rey, and possibly Kylo Ren could be called off to do something else, or possibly even talk to the Emperor or one of his superiors, because we do see in the trailer that it is Captain Phasma, or the Chrome Trooper, that ends up pursuing Rey and Finn in the Millennium Falcon, or we assume that they're in the Millennium Falcon after they're attacked on the surface of Jakku. So Captain Phasma is sent down in place of Kylo Ren, which is pretty interesting. I'm sure Kylo Ren is off doing something else very important. I would assume that he is off talking to the Emperor, possibly about the failure or new findings that they have about the Jedi, or possibly even Luke's situation. So back on the planet, I assume that they're able to escape Captain Phasma, and this is the point where they encounter Han and Chewie, and they head off to go find Luke, where Luke goes, and they eventually find Luke, and then he agrees to train them both. I do believe that both Finn and Rey are Force sensitives. I believe that Rey's heritage is connected to Han and Leia. I believe that she is their daughter, but that's for another character video on Rey. We're just focused on Finn here. I do think that the Anakin's lightsaber or Luke's lightsaber will eventually end up in Rey's hands. I don't see that being Finn's lightsaber. I would like to see Finn see a different one. I would like the blue lightsaber, if indeed Rey is connected to the heritage of the Skywalkers, for her to kind of keep that legacy going with that lightsaber. I'd like to see Finn kind of adopt another one. And of course we know that Kylo Ren will return, and I am just dreading for Finn to encounter Kylo Ren after he's received some basic training. It's really harkening back to a little bit of the plot of Empire, where Luke really isn't prepared for the confrontation with Vader. I'd like to see something similar to that, where Finn encounters Kylo Ren, and he's really not ready for this battle that's about to ensue, and therefore is caught off guard. Maybe he gets in a lot of trouble in the fight and he needs some assistance, or possibly even walks away with some type of a robotic prosthetic because of the result of the fight. So that's something I'd like to see. So yeah, that's basically all we know about Finn so far. Like I said, I do think that he is a Force user. What do you guys think? What do you guys think Finn's role in Star Wars Episode 7 is? I do daily Star Wars videos on Star Wars Episode 7, so if you guys want to subscribe to get all those, I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and have a great day.